Hi everybody, it's Carla from Casey Creates. I wanted to tell you about a story um, on how my mom, I believe, is still watching over us. So if you're interested, you can grab a cup of tea and join me. It has to do with the mixing bowls we used the whole time we were growing up. Mom got them as a wedding gift. This is Mom in her vibrant days as grandma and mom and retired and traveling back and forth to visit all of us. And I just want to talk about her a little bit. Yes, she loved lilacs and butterflies. This is her when she was a young lady living in Chicago, Illinois, which is where she's from. She was a fashionista. She loved the city life. She grew up as the oldest of 6 siblings. There she is with her sister. They always loved to get dressed and go shopping. They lived in a normal neighborhood on the west side of Chicago. Those are some of the houses I remember going to visit them in. These are my parents when they got married. And they both were born and raised in Chicago, but shortly after their first child was born, my brother, um, 2 years later, my twin sister and I were born, and they wanted to move to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which is about 2 hours north of Chicago. Chicago was a wonderful city, but not where they wanted to raise a family, so they decided Milwaukee would be what's considered a great place on the lake. And it is, it's a wonderful town. Mom was an energetic, creative, well-read mom of 4 little chickadees. She was definitely Mama Bear. She really enjoyed being a mom, and she invested a lot in us, allowed us many opportunities. We were always going somewhere, museums. Here we are at the Botanical Gardens, probably one Sunday afternoon after church. We always had to get dressed up. We had full reign of the city. She let us do a lot of things. We were very independent. We rode bikes. As a matter of fact, she worked at that building you're looking at as an administrative assistant for many years. That's our city hall in Milwaukee. And so we just have lots of fond memories of growing up in the great city on a lake. Um, our neighborhood kids were always over playing, and there were lots of happy memories. Now, our life wasn't peachy keen all the time, and my dad did have a struggle with alcoholism, and that posed some family problems, and their marriage struggled. But there are good memories. Here we are at the 4th of July fireworks with neighbors and the 4 of us. I think my older brother must have been taking the picture. But we were just wild children. We ran and jumped and played. That's one of the hills. That's my brother's go-kart that he made. And this is the lake that to us was like the ocean because Lake Michigan is huge. The winters were brutal. If you looked at that picture in the winter, it'd be all frozen with icicles. And like I said, life wasn't always, rainbows and sunshine. My parents did end up divorcing after 25 years, but my mom taught us one very, very important truth, which is to always believe, always have faith that God can do it. And so this is where you would find my mother every morning, praying on the side of her bed. She'd probably be mad at me for showing this picture, but I took it in high school when I was in a photography class, and I knew this picture would have a lot of meaning someday. And she taught us how to have faith in Jesus and to believe. She prayed for all of us all the time. These are her grandchildren, that she would have a special day of the week for each grandchild that she prayed for. And I know those prayers are still working for them today, even though they're all grown up. And mom even might have been considered a little radical or a little out there with how much she believed, but not one of us would ever say anything disparaging about how strong my mother's faith was and how it's still proving to work in our lives today. And we always worried what would happen if she left and wasn't here to pray for us anymore. but I believe those prayers are still working on our behalf. Jeremiah 29:11 says, I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. And this is me where my aspirations to be a productive selling artist, I believe, only transpired because of my mother's prayers, and I was able to sell my work at Williams-Sonoma. So, through life's mountains and valleys, we saw the benefits and blessings of Mom's strong faith and the benefits and blessings of her instilling that same faith in us to just constantly believe that God is able. And through the years, well, it's been about a year and a half now. It's been more than that. We got the news that Mom wasn't well and that she was failing fast. And so we started making it a point to spend even more time with her and fly her back and forth to be with us. And then when she couldn't fly back and forth, we would go to her. This was me visiting on her birthday. She wasn't feeling great that day. She'd probably be yelling at me right now for showing this photo, but I think she was beautiful in every photo. And one of her favorite places for us to take her was Hobby Lobby. And this was our last visit to Hobby Lobby. It sort of makes me happy when I go there, but it sort of makes me sad at the same time. And at one point, she was only able to go out into her yard and look at the flowers in her yard. And then she decided she was tired and it was time to go. But the connection that Mom still has with us through the sighting of butterflies and so many other stories that I could share with you has made me a believer that she is still interacting with us and watching over us. So the story I want to tell you now is the one about the glass mixing bowls. And my brother, he's the oldest of all four of us, and he always was into something. Chemistry, cooking. He loved to make potions to, kill wasps that were in the attic, you name it. He's also hilariously funny, and we decided towards the end of Mom's life, he got it from her. She is here showing us a fruit called Mamie. Anyway, my brother and my mom were very close. He has two professions. One is he's a professional chef, and he caters, and so he catered Mom's 80th birthday. And then the last 3 weeks of her life, we were with her in her home, and he fed us royally almost every night. And this picture does not do justice to the meal, but it was some kind of fresh garden tomato corn pudding with peas and rice and blackened chicken, and it was scrumptious. But Sheldon would use all of the dishes in Mom's kitchen, and when she passed away, none of us really asked for any of her belongings, but he wanted the Pyrex dishes, and these are very common dishes, and none of us would have, argued with him. Mom wanted us to always be peaceful and do nothing to cause each other to be against each other in any way. So whatever anybody requested, we just freely gave them. I really wanted the mixing bowls, but like I said, if he wanted them, he could have them. And they were just as generous for me too. So the four of us get along really well, and we try to share whenever we can. So this week I took a trip to the
We
antique mall.
discovered a place called Sleepy Poet. I don't know why I haven't heard of it before. Well, maybe I have, I just never went. Look at those adorable little doilies. So it's an antique mall, and I'm here with my sister, and we're just kind of whiling away some time. So in my cart, I've already found some vintage periodicals. McClure's magazine from 1904. It says it has good ads. And then the Watkins Almanac. I'm not sure I'm going to get that one, but I've got it in my cart for now. And then there's this really cool tatted table runner with cross stitch and another napkin with some tatting. but it's a huge place. So there's lots more to check out. So I'll take you along with me.
So I guess you can tell how this story's going to go. My sister and I started remembering all the things we would cook in those mixing bowls, and I told her I sure would like to find a set of those so I could have some for myself. And what did we find as we turned the corner of the antique mall? The complete set of Mom's Amish butter print Pyrex bowls in the exact same color. And it just was a sign. And my sister and I both just started laughing. But my mom, who never wanted to make anyone feel like they weren't as special as the other, did something similar for my sister. This is her with her beautiful family. And the last time they spent some good time with Mom, they were all home for a wedding. And my mom would come and spend time in our individual homes and make sure she spent equal time with equal family. So here she is pruning some flowers in my sister's backyard, and she loved hats. So my sister is doing these porcelain hats as party favors, and we turned the corner in the antique mall, and she had just been telling me on the way to the antique mall that she needed um, some ideas for these hats and how to embellish them. And should she make it out of clay, or should she make the embellishments out of lace and fabric and make the bands? And there they were, right around the corner, these pretty little porcelain hats. And I know my mom put those right in our way because she showed me the mixing bowls, so she took Karen over to where the little porcelain hats were. And we were just like so speechless as to how things like this have been happening now for about a year and a half. And I don't think I would have believed that you could still have, signs and somebody watching over you once they've passed on, but I'm confident my mom's signs, like the butterflies and the mixing bowls and the hats, are all mom saying, all is well, keep the faith, keep believing, I'm still here, and I'm still watching over you. So that's what I wanted to share, memories of mom and how she's still watching over us. Thanks for watching.